Ladies, it is time that we stop being so masculine and we start being more feminine. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. It's been centuries since women have really been able to be in their feminine energy, and we need to bring that back and start being happy, fulfilled, joyful, and abundant women again. So stay tuned where I'm going to share exactly how to do this. So before I get into some really specific examples of how you can start being more feminine in certain aspects of your life, I need to remind you that all of us have both masculine and feminine energies within us, and we need both. The difference is that for a woman, in order for her to have the kind of intimate connections within her relationships, in order for her to feel fulfilled in her life, she needs to be living mainly from her feminine energies. So what does this look like? Well, masculine energies are more about the doing things. Feminine is more about the receiving energies. When you're living your life as a female, you still need to do things. It's just doing those things in a feminine way, from the feminine energy. So now that you know the difference between the two energies, let me show you very practically and elegantly how to be mostly in your feminine while you still do things and interact with people, okay? So let's take work as an example, and this can be at work or in your business. How do you be more feminine while you still do things, which is your masculine? So take this example right now. I am doing my work. I am filming this video right now. However, I've come looking quite feminine. I'm having a smiley, warm vibration. And my intention when I'm coming to do this video is to give in a nurturing way in order that I connect with you. That's my whole intention. If I'm just going to relay some information and I desire no connection with you, that's way too masculine. You know, before this video, I did a meditation and I asked, what do the women need to receive? And in what examples would they need to receive it from? And so I am like, this is all about me giving to you with you in mind so that I can provide benefit and have impact on your lives in a positive way. This whole intention, this whole act, before I even sit down to start this video, is very different than if I was coming up from my masculine energies. I would be sitting down, looking at statistics, being very structured as to how I'm going to say what, when, different energy. Let's take an example. Well, you're at home and you have to do certain things. We have to clean our house. We have to cook our dinners. I just did a story on my Instagram yesterday. Just a side note, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please do, because I share my life more personally, particularly in the stories, of how I am living my life in an elegant feminine way. So, okay, take the example that I shared. It was me planning my meals for this coming week. So what I do on Sundays is I create a beautiful space for myself. I put on some beautiful Parisian jazz or Parisian cafe music. I go to my cookbook shelf and I pull out which cookbooks I'm feeling drawn to. I make myself a lovely tea. I'm really creating this beautiful space for me to do something that I know I want to do. I create at least 5 dinners that I want to make throughout the week. And I also make sure I have a pad of paper where I write all of the grocery lists down. And then I take that list and I go to the store and I buy everything so that I know I have everything I need to make beautiful, nutritious, delicious recipes that are going to make me feel great and look great throughout the whole week. So you see, I'm doing something, but I'm doing it from a feminine energy. Now, let's take the example if you are in a relationship or you would like to be in a relationship and you're just dating. One of the most important things for women to remember is we can say, I need to be more in my feminine, I want to be more in my feminine, I'm more powerful, I'm more impactful, I'm more happy and joyful if I am in my feminine. We have to realize that the same goes for men. And they are most powerful, most happy, most impactful in their lives when they are being in their masculine. If we are in a relationship with a man, we need to create the opportunities for them to be in their masculine. If we are being too much in our masculine, we don't allow them to step up and do what they were programmed to do and who they were programmed to be. This is not just about us. This is about them as well. So how does this look when you're in a relationship? It is often best for a woman to allow a man to come to her, to pursue her, instead of her going out and pursuing aggressively another man. I cannot tell you how many times men have said that those kind of relationships, although sometimes it pets their ego if a woman comes to them, it's not what they truly want. They want to be the pursuer and the person going forward. And all you have to do is be in your feminine energy. That is, outwardly and inwardly, being warm, smiling. Your warmth, your smile, your outward appearance, your softness will really draw them in, because what attracts a man is the complete opposite of what he is. So the more feminine you are in your outer energy and your inner energy, the more contrast that will be, and the more magnetic it will be pulling a man into you. Of course, not everybody is for you, so we have to know we can't magnetically attract everybody, but for the right person who's for you, you will be doing this simply by being more of who you really are. And here's something that a lot of my clients who are in this dating atmosphere find difficult, is knowing what the rules are around paying the bill. There's been so much discussion over the last 10, 20 years about, should we go Dutch? Is it not respectful if I don't say I'll pay half? If I don't offer to pay? Here's the thing. I spoke to my husband about this, and he said, truly, if a man invites you out to dinner, allow him to pay the bill and just receive it. Because what gives a man his power and his confidence and his happiness and joy is to provide, to cherish. And if we don't give them those opportunities to do that, they'll never feel in their most powerful self. So if you are invited out, no matter what it is, just receive, graciously thank, say how much you enjoyed it. That is enough. You do not have to offer to pay and get all awkward and say, oh, no, please, I want to pay. That will just demasculate the man. Okay, so we want to allow them to step into their masculinity. And this goes for if you're married as well. There were times in my relationship with my husband, when we were dating and when we were married, when I was making more than him. And yet, he will always pay the bill at dinner, unless there's a special occasion. For example, it's his birthday, or there's something that I want to celebrate him for. I will make the plan and take him out and surprise him and pay the bill, and he feels all special. But that is because I'm coming from my nurturing, warm, loving energy. He feels that. Yet if it was every single time me paying, it wouldn't make him feel like he's stepping up to the plate and providing. He would start feeling bad about himself, that he couldn't provide. And this might think like, oh God, grow up. No, this is different. If a man is being too feminine, then we start feeling like we have to step up and be the more masculine. And although that might work for a period of time, it stops working. And a woman will say, oh, I just wish you could be more of a man. So truly underneath, women want and desire men to be men, and men want and desire females to be feminine, okay? It's just the way we're wired. Now, we can see this in other parts of our lives as well. I had to really work on stepping back and allowing myself to receive, because I know for me, the way my life has worked out, I've learned to really take care of myself. So I will be walking up to a store door at the same time as a man. We'll get there at the same time, and I'll just open the door, smile nicely, but open the door. And I'm thinking to myself afterwards, you could have allowed him to do that. That would have made him feel very good. Yes, I can do it, but ladies, this isn't the point. If we start allowing ourselves to get into this receiving mode, this ripples into every area of our life. You can receive. And a lot of women find that energy so difficult. And then they wonder why they're not having the kind of relationship with their partner that they want, why they're not magnetically attracting the kind of clients they want, why they're not receiving money like they want. This receiving energy has to be there. And so these little simple things that seem simple are actually you practicing how to be more feminine and stop being so masculine. Being in your masculine can even transition into your female friendships. Now let me talk about this one for a moment. If you find yourself the friend who's always organizing girl get-togethers, or you're always organizing the dinner or the time to chat, whatever. If you are the one always being the leader, it could be part of your personality, which is great. However, as I've said, it is still important for you to learn to receive. Just because your natural inclination is to be a leader and you're good at it, doesn't mean you need to be at it all the time, because there are other aspects of your life that will require you to be in this receiving mode rather than you always being this outputter. So if you find in your friendships that you're doing most of the planning, that's you being too much in your masculinity. And there will come a time, as came in my friendships, when I realized that I was the one doing that more than certain friends were. And I started to become sad and resentful about it. And so I stepped back and said, no, I'm worthy of receiving a call. I'm worthy of receiving someone else planning, someone else missing me and saying, hey, we haven't talked in a while. Let's get together. When I step back, I actually give others the opportunity to step up and do that for me so that I can feel loved and cherished by someone else. So I hope those real life examples of interacting with people and your work and your daily life is really going to support you. Start practicing them. I want to give you a little bonus tip here of how to stop being in your masculine, how to start being more feminine. It's something that you can do at night. Every single night. So the every single night is the masculine part. This is a routine. This is something you non-negotiably do every night. This is asking yourself this question. What gave me the most joy today? The doing is the asking the question, but the focus of it being on joy, pleasure, is the feminine. And so we're going into our body now. And I'll tell you something, at night, every night, before I allow myself to kind of just float off to sleep, I ask myself this question, and just remembering this makes me feel all warm and happy and filled and expansive. I smile most times. And you see, coming back into my body, focusing on these warmth, love, nurturing, joy, pleasure feelings really connects me to my femininity. And I really recommend you doing this too. So again, the routine is that you ask this question consistently every night. That's the masculine structure. The femininity is the intention behind it and the feelings that you allow yourself to feel. What this does for you in the long term is that it gets you starting to focus on joy and pleasure more. Once you start consciously choosing to look for joy and pleasure, you actually throughout the rest of your life start looking for more joy and pleasure. And just by you focusing on joy and pleasure, this becomes your set point energy. So I wanted to give you that little extra thing because I have noticed that it is really, really a beautiful way of helping me connect to joy and pleasure, consciously choosing to do more things that give me pleasure, which inevitably allows me to receive more joy and pleasure. So please do subscribe and do head over to Instagram and follow me over there. I'd love to connect with you everywhere. Make it an elegant, more feminine week, and I will see you next time.